if the technical definition is 2 quarters of contraction, you're saying that's not a recession?
That's not the
No?
That's not the technical definition.
In terms of the technical definition, it's not a recession. The technical definition considers a much broader spectrum of data points.
That is not the actual definition of a recession. It is a significant contractionary period over a few months.
I would really object to this kind of semantic claim. The idea that 2 quarters of negative GDP growth is a technical definition of a recession is wrong.
They're all reading the same playbook. The last 10 instances in American history that saw 2 straight quarters of negative GDP growth were defined as a recession. But the Biden team, of course, ready to ditch it. What a perfect distillation of modern leftism. When you're losing, just change the rules of the game, then declare victory. Joining me now is Peter Schiff, chief economist, global strategist for Euro-Pacific Capital and host of the Peter Schiff Show podcast. Peter, explain why this is lunacy.
Well, you know, they redefined the definition of inflation from an expansion of the money supply to prices going up, so they may as well change the definition of recession, because for my entire career, recession has been described by 2 quarters of negative GDP growth, and we've got that. In fact, the third quarter looks like it's going to be an even bigger contraction than the first 2, so that's going to be 3 quarters. But, you know, Yellen said that a recession is not 2 consecutive drops in GDP. It's a broad-based economic slowdown. Well, that's exactly what we've got. The auto industry is in recession. The housing industry is in recession. Retail is in recession. Advertising is in recession. So many unrelated segments of the economy are in recession. How you can't say this is a broad-based slowdown, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. And in fact, it's going to get a lot worse in the third quarter and then probably the fourth quarter as well.
Well, what they're pegging it to, I think, is the tight labor market we have. But the tight labor market is not corresponding with wage increases that actually can catch up to the cost of living and exceed the cost of living increases that everyone's having. So while people are getting raises,
well, it doesn't mean
they're it doesn't mean they're living better lives.
It's worse than that, Laura, because first of all, unemployment claims have now risen for, I think, 3 weeks in a row. We're at the highest level since October last year. We have 251,000 is the most recent unemployment claims. You know, we were below 200,000 not too long ago. Meanwhile, if you look at that last job report, even though we added about 400,000 jobs in the establishment survey, the household survey, we lost about that many jobs. But if you actually look at the jobs, almost all these new jobs were for people who already had jobs. These were people taking second and third jobs because they're struggling to pay the bills. And you have a lot of retirees who are being forced back into the workforce because inflation has eviscerated their incomes, and now they have no choice but to go to work. So these are not jobs that people want. These are jobs that people are forced to take because the economy is so weak. Meanwhile, employment is a lagging indicator. I think we're going to see mass layoffs in the third and fourth quarter of this year as employers start to react to the reality of recession by laying off workers.
Well, then they're going to redefine what it means to be laid off, Peter. So the redefinition never ends in the Biden administration. Great to see you, as always.